Celebrity, true or false?
True or false?
You can't handle the truth.
Okay, there we go. All right, Mekhi Phifer, celebrity, true or false?
Yes.
First up, true or false? You had never taken an acting class before landing the starring role in Clockers with Spike Lee, and you went to the audition on a lark, only with a small passport photo instead of a headshot.
That is absolutely unequivocally true.
Really?
Absolutely true.
What happened?
Well, I was going to college for electrical engineering, and I was a big math guy, you know, the calculus, the whole thing. Because while I went to Manhattan Center for Science and Mathematics in high school, and while I was in high school, I went to Columbia University as well to take college credits. And I went to an open casting call with my cousin, who I talked about with you earlier, my cousin Sly Phifer. And we didn't have. They said you had to bring a picture, because what happened was Spike Lee was doing this open casting call. He was looking for the new lead in his new movie, but he wanted an unknown. So he did all of these open casting calls in like Philly and L.A. and New York. It was in the paper, on the radio, and they said you had to bring in a picture, like a 8x10, like a normal headshot. I didn't have any headshots. You know, what I know about all I had was family photos. So the only photo we could get, and the only thing that we could afford, I think between me and Sly, we had $4 between us. So we went to Woolworth to get the passport photos, and it cost $3, and you got 3 pictures. And we put the $3 in the machine, and I sat in there, took the picture, and then he ran in and took the next picture, and then we took the last picture together. And so it was these little photos. And we brought them down to the where they were holding the open casting call, and I filled out a data sheet, and I sat there, and then one of the casting associates asked me to sign my name, and then, long story short, they asked me to come down to the audition, which I did. They didn't call me back for 4 weeks. I went about my business. They called me back. They said, come back. And then when I came back, Spike was in the room.
Oh, boy.
And he said, okay. And the Spike is playing. Spike is cool. You know, Spike is cool. So,
but he's still Spike.
He's still Spike.
Right.
And so he didn't give me much. He was like, okay, let me see you do it again. So I was nervous as hell. I didn't have any water or chapstick or gum. You know, I was wet behind the ears, and I'd never auditioned for anything before. And then I did the scene. He said, okay, this is good. Come back on Monday. Okay, and then I did that. And then he said, okay, that was good. Come back on Wednesday. He just kept giving me different scenes. And then all of a sudden I had to read with Isaiah Washington and do improvisations. And then he said, okay, that's good. Come back again. Then I had to read with Harvey Keitel doing improvisations. Wow. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know who the hell Harvey Keitel was. I wasn't intimidated at all. I was like, who's this old dude? You know, at this point, I didn't know who he was. I hadn't seen, you know, Mean Streets or any of that stuff. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
I wasn't a movie buff then. And so I just did it. I was like, okay, you got me reading with this guy, you know, and then ultimately, I know, but it's Harvey Keitel. I mean, he's, you know, now I see his body of work, and it's like, what were you talking about?
Sure.
But I wasn't in the film business. And then lo and behold, I came back the last time. This is like my 8th audition, and I come to 375 Greenwich, where, you know, which is owned by, I think, Robert De Niro and Jane Rosenthal. And I come up there, and Spike is downstairs. He has a limo downstairs, but he's talking to Jane Rosenthal, who I didn't know either at the time, who was Robert De Niro's producing partner. And I think they own Tribeca together, the film festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking I'm going upstairs, and he's like, no, don't go upstairs. You know, wait. And he brings me in the car, and I'm like, you know, what's going on? I'm ready to audition. And he's like, no, I just want to let you know you got the role. You know, and he gave me, and I was like, it was like, you know, mind blowing.
And then now you're in a movie with Keitel and Totoro, and Spike's directing you,
and Delroy Lindo and this and that.
Oh,
my God.
Delroy Lindo, I forgot about him. Oh, I love him.
Yes.
Wow, what a story. Next up, Mekhi Phifer, true or false? You almost turned down the role of Future in 8 Mile because you were just cast in ER.
I did. That's
you did turn it down, or you did?
Listen, to my agents, I turned it down, and then they were like, no, you're not turning this down, because I was due to start ER. I was really looking
for... And ER was already ER at that point in time?
ER was already a mega show. And I was joining at the end of season 8, the last couple of episodes of season 8. And I really wanted to play a doctor. And ER had won all the Golden Globes, the Emmys, the this and that. It was ER. And And 9/11 had just happened. So nobody, people were scared to fly, as everybody was. I'm a New Yorker. I saw what happened to the towers, So they said, look, it's Curtis Hanson, who I did know his work, LA Confidential and Wonder Boys and all of that. Great director, rest in peace. They flew me out to Detroit, and I met with Eminem. And we spent a few days together and chopped it up.
What was that like?
It was great, man. It was great. We hit it off, immediately. And I saw how serious he was. The script was, they didn't give me the script. I had to read the script in Curtis's office because they were being so hush-hush about it.
Huh.
I loved it. But it wasn't what you see on screen, but I knew I could bring a nuance to it and something, different, a certain energy, a certain spirit. So then ER, John Wells, who was, King John Wells,
yes,
he said, you know what, go do the movie, and as soon as you finish the movie, you come and start ER.
And then that green lights the whole
thing. I wrapped the movie, and then a week later, I was on the set of ER.
You went from 8 Mile to ER?
To ER.
Within a week?
Within a week. It's crazy, but I'm glad I did it. Eminem threw my name in the song and won an Oscar. It's one of the most popular downloaded songs ever.
Well, that was my next one. Is it true that he completely surprised you by including your name in Lose Yourself?
That is true.
How did you learn that you were in the song?
We were shooting one day. Eminem had 3 trailers. He had his trailer for, him to sleep and stuff like that. Then he had a studio trailer that because he was doing his album and the soundtrack at the same time. And he had a gym trailer. So we would go in between takes and work out or whatever. And around 2 a.m, we were shooting one night, and he came back to the set. He said, "Yo, Mekhi, after this take, I want to take you to the studio. I'll put your name in the song." And so the whole crew, we all went to the to the trailer, and he played the song, and it was raw. It wasn't mastered. It wasn't mixed yet. And we got to the part, and there's no movie. There's no Mekhi Phifer, and everybody erupted. And but I didn't know it was going to be. Listen, I didn't know 8 Mile was going to be 8 Mile.
Sure.
You never know, and I didn't know the song was going to, be as impactful.
Well, Brockman was with me. Chris was with me when I was the honorary captain of the Michigan Wolverines one year. 2016 it was.
2016.
And Jim Harbaugh, the coach at the time, let us be with the team the entire weekend. And they had a choice. I forget what the other choice of the film was the night before the game. But that lost immediately to 8 Mile. He showed 8 Mile to the team the night before they destroyed Central Florida, and the team was just locked in. Because it is iconic, and it is something that will in fact live forever.
Yeah.
But so were you just like, wait a minute, was that my name? Like when you heard it?
He did preempt me.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, hey, I just want you to hear this song and listen to this. But he did say, I put your name in the song. I hope that's cool. And I was like, hell yeah, it's cool. Because back then, Eminem was crushing people when, he was killing people. If he put your name in a song, usually it's not good. He ends your career, he smack you around with his lyrics. So I was very proud of that and very appreciative of him making me a part of that in a bigger way than was initially, it was going to be. So,
and it is true the final rap scene was totally ad-libbed, right?
My stuff was totally ad-libbed.
Your stuff too.
My stuff on the stage, all of the stuff that I said, because that wasn't in the script.
Okay.
So all of the stuff, all of my instructions to the rappers, all of my audience participation stuff, all of that was all ad-lib. They wrote their rhymes because they had to have the rhymes written. Because for continuity,
so plot reasons
so they can
sure.
change the camera angles and things like that.
Okay, I see.
But my stuff was totally ad lib. So all of that, all DJ spin that, all of that kind of stuff, all of that was just. And the reason I say DJ spin that is because I forgot the guy's name. so I didn't call him by a name. That's why I say DJ spin that. Because I forgot the guy's name. And so after we got 1 or 2 takes, I couldn't start saying his name. So it just had to be. DJ, spin that,
What was his name? Do you remember?
I don't remember his name. But he's a good DJ. He's a very good DJ.
That we know.
Detroit, shouts to Detroit, and I'm sure he's a favorite in Detroit.
I'm pretty sure the DJ was in a movie called The Salton Sea with Val Kilmer.
He might have been.
So that's just a little side to that.
So we could Google him.
Let's Google him. Yes, and then I'll know his name.
All right, last one for you, and then I'll let you go. Mekhi Phifer, is it true or false? Fans still approach you on the street about how your ER character, Greg Pratt's death, affected them, and you suggested to ER producers prior to the show final season about your character.
Yeah. See, yes. People still to this day. I was right before the strike. I was shooting a movie in Bogota, Colombia.
Wow. So
there
too.
This is another. It's a great destination, but it was wild. But yeah, people still talk about it. They still were affected by it. My mother, I was in Los Angeles on the West Coast. My mother was in the East Coast, and when that episode aired, my mother called me because, obviously she saw the show before I saw it.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, I knew what happened, and she called me crying like somebody died in the family. Like with the, and I said, Mom, what's the matter? And she was like, Dr. Pratt died, and so she was it was impactful. And, but what I was due to start, I was getting ready to start Broadway. And I knew that season 15 was going to be the last season. And I'd rather go out with a bang than just sort of just leave the hospital. It was a great episode with Steve Buscemi, and it was impactful, and so people still talk about it to this day, and I appreciate everybody and their viewership.
So the way you made your mom stop crying is like, Mom, I'm going to Broadway.
Mom, I'm on the phone with you. I'm on the phone.
That's number one.
I'm here, but she was very proud because
of course
she loved seeing me on television every Thursday. So she taped every episode, and you couldn't talk to her while the show was on.
I love that.
And that's what I love about television. It's like, you can be in somebody's home every week.
I know that. And you can say hello to my mother right now. I think she's watching on her Roku.
How you doing?
Mom, Mekhi says hi. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.